Hello, this is Mike Bitter with Affordable Social Media, and I want to pass along some information. Actually, I want to do this presentation because there are so many people who are looking for jobs now, and even if you're thinking about looking for a job, you can use social media to help you find that job. And that's what I want to show you today. I want to show you how to market yourself using social media, and this is the advanced level. I'm going to go through some things that you saw in the basic level, in the first marketing yourself through social media, because I think they're important, and I want to just do a recap of where we were. So, with that said, let's get going. We have had a lot of success with this program. We are using it in with some of the military people when they are transitioning, and they have had a lot of success with this. We've been getting a lot of good feedbacks, a lot of good feedback. Okay, the objectives for today. I want to show you how to build your connections. People ask, what do I do when someone sends me a connect with me request? Well, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about why you need to build your connections. When you're looking at a company that you want to work for, you want to get inside that company. See if you can find out about the company. Are they really hiring? Um, do you know someone within the company? And I'm going to show you how to find that out. I'm going to show you how to get to the recruiter in the company. One of the things you also want to do is you want to promote yourself, because there are people out there looking for you. It's just they're using keywords, they're using searches, and they're looking in different places. And the more places that you are, the better it is for you. And the other thing is that you want people to see what you know. You want those recruiters to be able to pick you out amongst all of the other people. And then some of the do's and don'ts of marketing yourself through social media. We're going to talk about LinkedIn the most. LinkedIn is the unknown gold mine. I mean, it's just, there is so much available in LinkedIn that I don't think people realize. And it's just through us working with clients that we've realized how valuable LinkedIn can be. Okay, when you first go to LinkedIn, this is where you will go. Whoops, let me go back. This is where you'll go if you have a LinkedIn account. You go to the top where it has email address and password, and you just type those in. It'll get you right into LinkedIn. If you haven't started with a LinkedIn, it's easy. See, it says be great at what you do. That's what we're going to be talking about. And here is Get Started Free. It's down in the bottom. Just takes a few minutes to sign up and get on LinkedIn. I would suggest having a picture in LinkedIn, and I'll tell you why later. When you open up LinkedIn, this is what it looks like. And you see my picture in the middle. I am the owner of Affordable Social Media. But at the very top, and this is really what I want to show you, there are 5 different selections across the top of this bar. The first one is home, which of course will take you home. But what we want to do is I want to talk to you about your profile, which is the next button to the right of the home button. And I want to talk to you about editing your profile, which is the first selection on the drop down menu. And what we want to talk about on the profile, I really went in depth in my first marketing yourself through social media course. And so I'm going to kind of breeze over this, but in your profile, make sure that you have at least 5 keywords of how you want people to find you and what you want them to find you for. Skill sets are good. Um, if there is a particular job you're looking for, use the keywords that are associated with that job, and then pepper those keywords in your summary. LinkedIn has an awesome search engine optimization. That's SEO. You may have seen that when people talk about websites. But SEO capability is where people can find you based on the words that they're using to find you. So put those words for the particular type of job, the particular type of position that you're looking for, the lingo, because there are people in human relations that are out looking for candidates. You want as many as possible be able to find you. So that's the summary. Now, let's go down from there. All I did was drop straight down. I'm not on another page, but I just scrolled down in my LinkedIn, and this is the first position, owner of affordable social media. What I want to point out with this is that put if your last position is going to be used as a recommendation for your current position or an indication of the position that you're going for, make sure that your first position has the most information about it. It has the keywords in it also that you used in your summary. But as you go down, you're going to be able to add positions to your LinkedIn profile. The further away you get from the date, or if there are positions that you don't want people to find you for, cut down on your words that you use. Make it a little bit smaller, but make the position that you are that helps qualify you for that job, make that one have the most information in it. So with me, I want people to find me because of social media marketing. That's what I'm doing right now. So that's why this is such um, a long job position description. Okay, now let's go on down, and as you notice, the descriptions got a little bit smaller as they went down. Director of Communications, I'm really not looking for a job as a Director of Communications. President and CEO right below Director of Communications. That was a previous business that I owned and then affiliate faculty at Clarkson College. I don't really want to be found by those things because Clarkson College that's where I taught. I already own another company, Affordable Social Media, and I don't really want to be a director of communications. So I just cut down the amount of information in there. What we want to do is we want to get you in front we want to get you seen by the people that you want to find you. So that's what we're looking for, and we want to give them enough information so they can link back and find you. Okay, when you're doing your profile, there's 5 LinkedIn profile tips. Take a look at these. If you think everything is fine, maybe even have a friend of yours take a look at it. Ask if your grammar and spelling is correct. There are people who are really sticklers with grammar and spelling, so go through and make sure that it is correct. What people read in your summary and in your profile, is an indication of the type of work that you do. This is what people are seeing. This is what you're portraying. This is the type of work you can expect from me. And if your spelling and grammar isn't correct, it's going to jump out at people. Does your profile summary, does your profile speak to you or your audience? Is it saying what you want to say to your audience? Is it causing them to want to call you? Are you creating that interest? So this is another one. Maybe you want to have somebody take a look at it and say, I'm looking for a job in project management. Is that what you see in my profile? Or have them read your profile and ask them what position it sounds like you're writing it for. Use your 3 to 5 keywords that your audience uses to find you. Number four, is your profile picture a reflection of what you want to portray to your audience? If Make sure that your picture is for the position that you're looking for. If you're looking for a management position or an executive level position, you need to figure out whether you're going to wear a coat and a tie. If it's executive level, you're going to want to wear a coat and a tie. But if it's management level, it may just be a coat, it may just be a tie, it may just be business attire. So find that out, because whatever picture you put on your profile is going to portray who you are, and that's what people are going to remember you by. Make sure all of your dates, locations, and connections are correct. Um, the reason I say this is because LinkedIn connects you with other people based upon those dates, those locations, where you went to school. What LinkedIn will do is LinkedIn will go out and find other people who were at the same place, either the same company or that went to school with you during that time, and start connecting you with those people. So it's a good idea. Make sure all of those are correct. And then when you put everything together, everything's in place, your internet visibility just increases tremendously. And as your internet visibility increases, so do the number of people to whom you can market, to whom you can market yourself, to let them know that you're the best person for that job. And that's really what we're doing with our profile and our experience, is we're letting people know we're the best person for the job. You have 3 to 5 keywords to get those people to your resume or to your profile, which is a real close reflection of a resume. I'm working with some local companies, and well, actually I'm working with people who write resumes, and what we're starting to see is we're starting to see that correlation between the summary that you have in LinkedIn or the profile that you have in LinkedIn and that person's resume. So just something to kind of think about. You can use your resume to get started. If you go to a career fair or you go to something that's where they're hiring people, find out what companies are going to be there. And you want to find out what companies are going to be there because you want to do research on them. You want to find out a little bit about them. If you're going there and you're going to be talking to a recruiter, then you ought to know a little bit about the company that they're recruiting for. It'll make a better impression with them. And then when you get back when you go to the career fair, contact, oh, nope, let me back up. Get intel on the companies you're looking for. Make sure that those are the people you want to work with, the types of companies. Then what we're going to do is we're going to look in LinkedIn to see if you know anybody that's already in that company. That's what's so important about making the connections. And then ultimately what you want to do is connect with the recruiters within the company. And you can do that using LinkedIn. And I'm going to show you how we do that here in just a little bit. And connect with them. This is all preparation for the career fair. If you contact your connections from LinkedIn, they may be able to tell you a little bit about the position, and how hard are they looking for someone, or exactly what are they looking for? And then you can kind of fine tune yourself to meeting that recruiter or that person that's there at the career fair. Okay, now what we're doing is we're moving across the top. We talked about the home button a little bit. We showed you where to edit your profile. Now we're talking about your network. These are your contacts, adding connections, and finding alumni. So what I've done is I've selected contacts, and all of my contacts are down below. And you can see all of the contacts. They're in this area. And when you open your LinkedIn and you go to contacts, this is what you'll see. But really what I want to show you is over on the left-hand side where it says all connections. Um, this is really important. So when you go down through your connections, it's showing all of my connections, and you can look at your connections by tags that you set by them, by their last name, by the companies they work for, the locations, the industries, or recent activity. If you are trying to move into a company or you find a company that you want to, like you see it at the career fair, or maybe you've put in your application into that company, what go back and take a look at your LinkedIn and find out who you know within that company. We had one of the people that was at my basic or my first LinkedIn class, marketing yourself through social media, and they said that they were called by a recruiter because a friend of theirs had seen on their LinkedIn that they were looking for a position. Well, they took that information into the recruiter and the recruiter called them. So this all gets connected together. So take a look at the companies. When you click on companies, when you go down and you click anywhere on companies, what will happen is this will open up. And these are all the companies that I know people at, that I'm connected with. I know a lot more people at those companies than this shows, but these are the people that I'm connected with within LinkedIn. So now if I want, let's say I want to go and talk to somebody at Lincoln Financial, or I'm looking at a job at Lincoln Financial Group, what I can do, there are 27 people that I know in Lincoln Financial. Do you think that maybe one of those people might know somebody in HR? So this is the way you'll get some intel on the company. You can find out about the job and maybe even get you in the door. Okay, the next thing I did, we were talking about network. Then we're over at jobs. That's the next selection across the top. So let's get rid of this stand out from the crowd and go premium, because right now I want to show you what's free. And everything that I am showing you is free. You don't have to get premium LinkedIn. Here we are at the jobs section, and it's right next to network. And let me tell you real quick, the way LinkedIn has these selections across the top with the bar, if you're just setting up your LinkedIn, or if you want to go back through your LinkedIn and see that you're doing everything correctly, follow this process. Go through, do your profile, edit, make changes, build your profile, then go over to your network and work on connections. And then the next thing just to the right of that is jobs. Now, what LinkedIn has done is LinkedIn has connected me with certain jobs. If you look down at the bottom, it's a client project manager in Downers Grove, Illinois, chief marketing officer, and a store manager of business development. So or a store manager slash business development. What LinkedIn will do is LinkedIn will connect you with businesses, or it'll make job selections for you based on what you have in your profile. It's connecting you together. That's that search engine optimization. LinkedIn is constantly going out there and searching for jobs, and they're trying to connect you with them. If these are not the types of jobs you're looking for, you may want to make a change in your LinkedIn. But I wanted to show you um, what this was, and that this job is there, or that this area is there. And let's go on down. And all I did was went straight down from where I was. And here are some more companies. And let's say I like this job at Reebok. And there's one or two ways I can get to Reebok. One of them is click on this, or if I go up to this search right at the top, I can type in Reebok and see what happens is Reebok. I get information about Reebok without actually going to their site. And it's a consumer goods company, 5,000 to 10,000 employees. You have to decide, do you want to work at a company that big? Is it big enough for you? Is it too big? There's Reebok CCM. So this is how we start finding out about companies. This is how, okay, we found a job in a company that we liked, but let's go out and take a look at the company. So we clicked on the search just a minute ago. What we did was we clicked on the little magnifying glass and it takes us here. And the Reebok pops up, consumer goods. This is kind of what we were talking about. What I want to show you though is there are two people in my network that work for Reebok. There are two employees that work for Reebok. So I want to find out who they are. So I select this little arrow, little arrowhead, and this is what pops up. Not only do I go to Reebok, but over on the right hand side, it tells me how I'm connected to them. Here are my two second degree connections. Then there are two third degree connections. Okay, connections. First degree, second degree, and third degree. First degree connections, you'll see this in LinkedIn a lot. First degree connections are people that you know directly. Second, and you're connected with. Second degree connections are people that someone you're connected with is connected to, but you're not connected to them. So you need to get an introduction. You need somebody to say, hey, Mike, or John, this is Mike, and connect us together. And that's kind of how LinkedIn works. So I have no first degree connections with anybody in Reebok. So what I'll have to do is I will have to get an introduction um, through somebody into Reebok. Okay, general guidance. Whenever you meet and greet, make an impression with the people you meet and greet, especially if you're at a career fair or if you go in for a job interview. And even if you know you're going in for a job interview, get the names of the people you're going to interview with and connect with them on LinkedIn. You may find some information on LinkedIn about them or things or what they have written about the company. Also, it's a good idea after a career fair to connect with whoever you talk to at that career fair. It's going above and beyond what other people have done at the career fair, and it's making yourself stick out. Always make an impression so when you go away and you connect with them later, they remember who you are. And if you've done your research on the company, and when you went in and talked to a recruiter or you talked to somebody in HR, you can talk to them about the company also, and that will show them that you're interested in what that company is doing and you're interested in that position more so than just somebody else. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go and find somebody. And I put in John Detweiler. All I did was go back up to the top where we put in Reebok before, and I put in John Detweiler. So what I find is the John that I'm looking for, he's the president and owner of the 3DB Corporation, but he is a third connection. Okay, right next to his name says third. If you go on down, this other John Detweiler is third. The other ones that don't have numbers are probably so far down the line that I don't even, it would be really hard for me to connect with them. So what I want to do is I want to connect with John Detweiler. So click on connect, and this is where you will go. It's invite John to connect on LinkedIn. And then LinkedIn asks you, how do you know John? Is he a colleague? Is he a classmate? And so on and so forth. LinkedIn knows whether you know John. If you say that you went, if you say that you are a classmate of John's, what LinkedIn will do is LinkedIn will look at John's profile, he'll look at your profile, and or LinkedIn will look at your profile and see if you were actually classmates. If you all had some, if you all were at the same school or you took the same courses during the same period of time, LinkedIn will say, yep, they were classmates and send a connect. Will send a I want to connect with you notice to John. But if you don't, if you all haven't, you don't have anything in common or anything like what you're seeing here, the other selection that you have is other. And when you select other, it is going to ask you for John's email address. So as long as you have someone's email address, you can ask to connect with them. The other thing I'd like to suggest is when you go down below that, in the include a personal note, this is a standard note. The standard note is I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn. Um, I like to change that, especially if you're talking to somebody about a job and or it's a recruiter. And what you can do is say this is John Detweiler or this is Mike Bitter and I met you at yesterday's career fair and I just wanted to connect with you on LinkedIn to keep in touch with you. That's all you have to say, something basic, and then they know you care. Again, they want to know how much you care about that job and if you're a good fit. By connecting with them, not only will it connect you with them about that position, but there may be another position that opens up. And if they know you're on LinkedIn, all they have to do is push a button and go to your page and send you a message and let you know about it. So we're trying to give you as much visibility and make you as visible as possible. Okay, this looks like the page we were on just a minute ago, but it's not. It has actually changed. Remember how we wanted to connect with John Detweiler? Over here, we selected connect. Well, there's another way to connect with him. If you go to the right side, if you go just to the right side of that blue box that says connect, there's a blue down arrowhead. If you select that arrowhead, there will be a drop-down menu with 4 selections: get introduced, send email, send in mail, share, and find resources. Um, this is another way to contact John. If you don't know John or don't have his email address, you can get introduced. If you have an upgraded version of LinkedIn, you can send an in-mail, do a share. Well, what you can do is you can share his profile with anybody that you want to. That's what the share is. And then if you want to find his references, find people that know John, this is where you would select find references. Now what I'm showing you, a recruiter can do too. And recruiters are doing this. They're finding they're finding qualified people using this process. I've talked to recruiters and I've worked with them, and what I'm bringing across and showing you on LinkedIn is what they're already doing. I'm just exposing it to you. So what I did was I asked for an introduction request, and he is 3 people down. So John Bliota, a principal at the Veritas group, he is that little question mark in the middle. And so one connection can introduce me, John can introduce me to someone who knows John. So that is a third connection. If it was a second connection, I would just have John Bliota introduce me to the next person, and so on and so forth. So that's how you start connecting with people, or that I should say this is one of the ways that you can connect with people. Okay, we went back to network. We went to our contacts. Another thing that will happen is LinkedIn will, and we've talked about this, connect you with people. For instance, they want to connect me with Amy Leslie, which is a digital client specialist at KETV. That is a local television station. And they think that I may want to connect with Lindsay Sims and Tom Hazel. At this point, all you have to do is select connect, and and LinkedIn will connect you with that person. It doesn't ask you if you know their email address or how you know them. Somehow LinkedIn has already connected you with them based on your profile. They're putting some information together looking for similarities between what you do and what another person does, or people who are looking for the skill set that you have. Okay, alumni. Alumni is very powerful. I'm going to show you how to track down alumni for schools that are in your profile. Actually, I'm going to show you how to track down people who may be at a school that's not in your profile. So here we are. We went back up to network. We selected find alumni. So the first thing that popped up was the University of Nebraska at Omaha. That is one of the schools that is in my LinkedIn. And it said that I attended from 2000 to 2005. I think those dates are a little bit off. I may have played with these before this presentation. But anyway, it says from 2000 to 2005. What it does, LinkedIn does, is it goes out and will tell you where all those people are. It tells you where they live, where they work, and what they do in at those companies. And if you go down to the bottom left, there are 9,273 students and alumni found at the University of Nebraska at Omaha between 2000 and 2005. That's 9,273 people. And out of those 9,273 people, there's got to be somebody in the company or knows somebody within the company that you're looking for a position. So this is a great resource to get in and connect with people who may be able to get your foot in the door. One of the other things that I want to show you is right underneath where they work, where it says see more. If you select see more, this will open up. There's a whole nother list, or the column continues. So real quick, if you look over at where they live, 8,900 people live in the United States. 5,900 people of the 5,900 of those 9,200 people that I went to school with or that went to the University of Nebraska at Omaha are still in the greater metro area. 223 in Lincoln, 220 in Denver, 162 in Kansas City. And if I want to find out where all those people are working, all I have to do is go over here to where they work, and I'll find out how I'll find out where people I went to school with work now. Everything is arranged by the highest first, and what I mean is like most people in Omaha are working that I went to school with are working at Union Pacific. The second one is University of Nebraska at Omaha, then PayPal, ConAgra Foods, and so on down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on down the page to these students and alumni found. I want to see who they are. So let's scroll down. Again, 9,273 students and alumni found, and I can scroll all down through all 9,000 students if I want. First thing is, look at Andy. Wow, did you know Andy? You may have seen him in the halls. He may have sat next to you in class. He may be able to get you connected with somebody, but you're going to want to connect with him first. But look at the importance of having your picture on your profile. Maybe someone is looking for you and they're not sure of your name, but they know when you went to school, but they they would be able to see you on site. They would know who you were, but they can't remember your name. So make sure you put your picture on LinkedIn so you're not just a ghost that nobody really knows who you are. Okay, we're back up at the top, and what I did here is we expanded this. I selected see more, and here is where everybody works. So I'll tell you what, let's pick a company. We're going to pick TD Ameritrade, but first off, let's pick Greater Omaha. So you can select Greater Omaha, select TD Ameritrade, and over on the right-hand side, you'll see only people in Omaha, only people at TD Ameritrade, and the positions that they work in. So if you're going into sales or you're going into operations, you're looking for a position in one of those two places, you may want to click on that and see who you know. Click on it and then scroll down below this screen on LinkedIn and it'll show you everybody on LinkedIn, or it'll show you, for instance, in operations, LinkedIn will show you the 865 people that you went to school with at the University of Nebraska in the greater Omaha area that work at TD Ameritrade. Who knows how many of those people you know? You open it up, take a look, see who you know, see who you're connected with, and then maybe drop them a note and let them know that you're interested at a position in their company. So this is a really cool tool. I really like using this. It's a way to hone down and get into a particular company. Okay, so what we did was we selected TD Ameritrade. That's all we did. We went to TD Ameritrade and let's go down. And there were 99 students and alumni found, and this is what I was talking about. All I did was select TD Ameritrade, and I scrolled down, and here's the 99 people. And some of them you can look through. You may pick up by their name, you may pick up by their picture, but this is another way to go in and see who you know. If you're looking for a position within TD Ameritrade, who do you know within that company? The other thing that you can do, we're back to the college, the alumni page. The other thing that you can do, these are kind of some um, odds and ends, is you can change the year. It says attended. What you can do is you can change these years. LinkedIn is allowing you to do that. You can open it up. Say you want to go, you don't want to start at 2000. Let's say you want to start at 1995. So reset those dates to 1995. You can go from 1995 to 2000. If you want, you can isolate it to 1 year. If you knew somebody within a particular year, you can isolate it. Over on the right side, where it says change school, what you can do is the top two schools are my schools. It says your schools, University of Nebraska at Omaha and Cherry Creek in Denver, Colorado. And then what LinkedIn will do is it will show you schools that are similar to the University of Nebraska at Omaha. And what I can do is I can click on these schools and it will go in and show me people where they live and where they work, people during this time frame from 2000 to, okay, if I click on Southern Illinois University, between 2000 and 2005, it will show me the alumni from there, where they live, where they work, and what are they doing now. And the beauty of that is if you're going to a particular location or you want to go into a city or go into a state, um, or going to another location somewhere, you can select a school that's right around there and see how much of the alumni is still around there. For instance, University of Nebraska at Omaha, there's still 5,900 people in the greater Omaha area out of 9,000. I expect the same thing would happen with something like this. So, like I said, alumni is a very powerful tool or a very powerful part of LinkedIn. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to get you in and show you how to find a recruiter within ConAgra Foods. ConAgra is an Omaha-based company, and they do all kinds. I think pretty much everything they do is food, or has to do with your lifestyle, cleaning, and things like that. So anyway, ConAgra Foods. We went back. We went up to the top. We typed in ConAgra in the search bar. This is what came up. ConAgra Foods, their food production, have 10,000 plus employees. This is the company we want to get into. I want to get you to the recruiter. That's where you want to go. How do you get to that person? Select ConAgra, and this is what pops up because we want to find out who do we know within the company. And I have 645 second degree connections. I don't have any first degree connections. There is nobody in ConAgra that I know directly. So I'm going to have to get an introduction to someone through LinkedIn, or I'm going to have to find another way to connect with them. But I wanted to show you that first. So let's click on what I clicked on was see all because I want to see everybody that is an employee of ConAgra's on LinkedIn, and this is what'll pop up. And the reason I wanted to see everybody that was on LinkedIn is because I'm looking for the recruiter. But there's 8,396 people there. There's 8,396 results. And going through all of those, how are you going to find human resources? So let's keep going. Let's go back to this. And what we did, we want to stay in Omaha. So we clicked in the greater Omaha area. We clicked on ConAgra Foods because that's the job that we want. And we clicked on human resources. I am connected to 17 people within ConAgra's human resources department, and that is exciting because there are 17 people who can potentially give me a good word to the hiring manager. And if not, there's got to be one person out of those 17 that can do that for me. So here we are, human resources. Let's click on human resources and let's see what happens. Okay, here are all the people in human resources. Wow, there's Sarah, there's Angela, Brian, Katrina, Jamie. Oh, look at that. There's the senior recruiter at ConAgra Foods. Wow. But see, what's happened is because I've gone through alumni, I can connect directly with Paul without having to worry about how I know him because LinkedIn has put us together because we went to school at about the same time. Or let me back up. We went to the same school. We both went to the University of Nebraska at Omaha because LinkedIn has seen his profile, LinkedIn's seen mine. They have said, yes, they're in school at the same time. If I select connect at the bottom, LinkedIn will connect me directly with him. What LinkedIn will do is send him a connect request, and then he would have to accept the request. But let's find out about Paul. Let's click on him and see what happens. And this is what pops up. This is his public profile. Paul Niels was a class of '03. He's a senior recruiter, greater Omaha area. And if we look down below his picture, it tells about his past. He, starting at the bottom, he worked at First Data, he worked at Mutual of Omaha, TD Ameritrade. There's TD Ameritrade again. I mean, and that's a connection that we didn't expect when we were looking at TD Ameritrade a little bit ago. He's worked at PayPal, Info Group, and ConAgra Foods. So not only do we have a connection with him through um, UNO, but now he used to also work at TD Ameritrade. So there could be a connection there too. We could have something else in common. So let's keep going. Okay, after you meet with someone, after you meet and greet with them, if you are, especially if it's a recruiter, if you go to a course, if you go to a seminar, go back to LinkedIn and connect with everyone that you talk to. Do it right away while they still remember who you are. And down at the bottom, make sure you change that LinkedIn note. Put something more personal in there. Hey, I saw you, or I was the one that met you at the social media conference today. It was nice that, we had a chance to talk. And connect with your connections to get intels on your job, on the job you're looking for. Get intelligence. So you want to connect with people and then later on find out if they are a connection that can get you information on the job and possibly even an introduction. And of course, what we want to do is we want you to land your dream job. That's what this is all about. And if you're not going to land your dream job, at least get you along the way. Okay, here we are with LinkedIn groups. Again, this is the advanced LinkedIn. And so we're going to talk about groups because groups are pretty powerful also. We're back up at the top. We've talked about profile, network, jobs, and now we're going to talk, if you click on interests, you'll get a drop-down menu that has groups. And when you click on groups, what it will do is LinkedIn will show you all the groups that are in, that you are a part of. And you can see mine. Here's a business association, small business marketing, project management, social media. You can tell a lot about people by the groups that they connect with. So you can kind of get intelligence on people also. In LinkedIn, there's always two ways to get to things. If you remember with this one, we looked at interests. Now if you go up to the left, just to the left of the search block, and you select that down arrow, you'll get a very similar group, but there are some differences in it. What we're looking for is groups. So what we want to do is we want to search for a particular group or a particular subject matter within the group. And keep in mind, these are keywords, and I'm going to use keywords to find that group. And the group that I want to find is project management. That is a keyword. It's just like we were talking about back on your profile. Um, Using those keywords because people are trying to find you. So here is what came up for project management. There were 18 results. SharePoint, AEDIP. But when you're choosing a group, first off, go out with a subject matter go out with a subject matter or a group that you've heard of or a type of a group like business groups or writers groups, things like that. When you decide or before you decide on a group, decide what you want in your group. And what I mean is, do you want large groups or small groups, groups that talk a lot, just groups that talk a little? Because every time there's a discussion posted on a group that you're a part of, they'll send you an email. And they just want to let you know what people are talking about in that group. Also, what happens with groups is when you get into groups, you get access to people that you're not connected to. So you can get into a group with recruiters, you may get into a group with hiring managers, you just never know who's there. So the way the reason I said to figure out what kind of a group that you want to be a part of is because let's take SharePoint for management. It has 1,558 members in that group. So you may think that's large, you may think it's small, you have to decide. There's 8 discussions this month on that group. That means about twice a week, somebody starts a discussion. On AEDP, right below that, there's only 19 members, but they have 58 discussions. They must be like talking all the time. Holy moly, 58 discussions within 19 people. And next one down, there's 213 members and 80 discussions. That's still quite a lot of discussions that are going on. Also look in the green at the green letters tells you how many people in your network are already in that group. And so you may want to ask some people that you're connected with, well, what do you think about this group? So if you want to view the group, all you do is click on view. Whoops. Nope. Um, what I wanted to show you, not clicking on, you can view the group, but what I want you to also look at is, and that's what the next slide is there's a down arrow that you can select and you can search within that group to find out what they're talking about, find out about the discussions that they're having. And here's the discussions. I selected the Let's look back here. I selected the Tokyo, project management in Tokyo, and I selected search within because what search within does is it shows me all of the discussions. Go to the group and see if these are the types of discussions that you want to have. Does this information interest you? A lot of people just go out to groups and go like, or they want to join that group. They just want to join a bunch of groups. But is the group really what you want it to be? This is a good way to take a look at that. The other thing that'll happen in groups is you can post in groups. Post a thought-provoking question. Maybe you have a question about your job. Maybe you have a question about your skill set. And a group is a great place to ask it because you have access to all these people. Let's go back one slide, and if you look at the bottom, you can ask a question to 213 people. 213 project managers are available for you to ask a question. Know who's who. You want to know who's looking for you too. On LinkedIn, you can find that out. It's on your front page. It tells you right on LinkedIn um, who's been looking at your profile. Good luck. And next thing we're going to walk into, we're going to do some Facebook tips. Okay, here's Facebook, the Facebook part of marketing yourself through social media. I'm going to kind of breeze through Facebook and Twitter a little bit. Um, Facebook, another place, find companies you're interested in. Does anybody does anybody that you know like that company's Facebook page? And look for people who may know somebody within the company. Use the same principles that we used on LinkedIn. Use them in Facebook. They work fairly much the same. Okay, so let's go find a company. We're going to find ConAgra Foods. All we do is go up into the search bar. We type in ConAgra Foods. We select the magnifying glass and we go to ConAgra Foods. Looks like it has 159,000 people that follow it. That's pretty good. You want to meet the team. If you want to go into ConAgra, you might want to meet the team and see what you can find. See if you can find a recruiter or the hiring manager. See if you can find information about them here. Over on the left-hand side, this is the official ConAgra Facebook page. So you can get some more intelligence on them. Is this the kind of company that you want to work for? Facebook pages. The big square picture in the back is called a cover page, and this is the mayor of Papillion, Nebraska. And I've talked to him a lot about his social media and social media marketing. And when we were talking about cover photos, he said that his cover photo, everything in his cover photo has meaning. In the middle, you have the military. He is family person. You can see his entire family. It looks like they're in front of Mount Rushmore, and which is very American. So he's making a statement with his picture. And also look at his profile picture. He's smiling. He has a jacket on, but it's not like a picture of him in his jacket. It's pretty much just a face forward kind of a picture. Be careful with your cover photo and your profile picture. Make sure not only do you know what's in it, but make sure you know what's behind it. Did somebody photobomb you? Let's keep going. Here's another one, Peter Gregg. Hey, Peter. Um, he this just look at his cover photo tells you he's a family person, and they all look happy to be there. Here's a picture of Peter, so you know what he looks like. And I think you're kind of getting the idea. This is Mallory Maddox. She works for a local TV station, and her and I are friends on Facebook. So this gives you another idea. Idea of a cover photo, just tasteful. And again, watch what's in the background. She went to California, I think it was, Los Angeles. The person over on the right in the bottom is an Omaha firefighter. And what she did was she followed him as he went and played Jeopardy. And then that was on TV. So that's what this is all about. Okay, Facebook. Let people know when you're looking for a position. People like helping other people, but if they don't know that you're looking for a job, they don't know to talk to other people, or if somebody is telling them about a position, they don't know to refer you. Let them know about it. Ask them if they know anyone who can help you get into a position like what you're looking for. If you're looking for a job, this is no time to keep it quiet unless you currently have a job and you don't want your current employer to know that you're looking. And if you find somebody, or when you find somebody that knows people within that company, ask them if they will do an introduction for you. Find out what others are saying about the company. You can do that on Facebook. It's not that hard to do. And then try to find insiders who will share information with you about the company and or the position. This is a really good time to find out what the company's doing, because when you go in to talk to a recruiter or you talk to the hiring manager, um, then you'll have information about the company that you can share with them that shows that you've done your intel, that you've done your research on the company. And always keep in mind, you never know when you're talking to a recruiter, especially if somebody says something to you on Facebook. It could be a recruiter looking at you. It could be a recruiter that is considering you for a position. So always know, um, so keep in mind, you never know when you're talking to a recruiter. Don't put anything on Facebook that you don't want a future employer to see. Don't put anything on Facebook that you wouldn't want your grandmother to read. That's kind of a really good rule of thumb. We already talked about looking in the background, or knowing what's in the background of your picture, making sure you know what's there, and then watch for photo bombs. Twitter, let's talk about Twitter real quick. Follow companies that you are interested in. 60% of Twitter people follow a company and they are out there looking at companies. What is Twitter? This is it. The fastest, simplest way to stay close to everything you care about. There are there are reports with Twitter that there have been earthquakes that the geological people have been able to pinpoint based on Twitter feeds, because when people felt an earthquake, they would put it on Twitter. And then as that earthquake got further and further from the epicenter, they could actually time the earthquake. And this is one of the most recent things that's happened with Twitter. Same way with what happened in Joplin, Missouri, with the tornadoes that went through there. They knew exactly where the tornado was because people started tweeting what was going on. Twitter is a real-time information network. Latest stories, it gets you can find interesting information. You can find all kinds of things on Twitter. It's small bursts of information called tweets, 140 characters long, but say a sentence to somebody and then count how many characters it is, like good morning. I mean, that is not a very long sentence. So 140 characters, use it to your advantage. And you can see what's going on right away. Posting to Twitter, post what you know. You're the expert, tell others. Use engaging content. Are you posting information that people will want to talk to other people about, or are you posting things that nobody's going to want to talk about for one reason or the other? So what you want to do is you want to engage people and you want to get people involved. And well, what you also want to do is you want them to talk about the content that you have posted and ask yourself, is this the type of content that someone would talk about tonight at their dining room table? Because that's really what you want to do. Put the social in social media. Here's some things that we found tweets on. The very top one, there are wartime tweets actually from the front lines, people that are there. Here was a rescue from a sea of fire. There was a tweet, and very down at the very bottom, learn how to get a job with a tweet. Twitter will tell you how to get a job with a tweet. So go in, do your research, find this information because they want you to be successful. That's the end of my presentation. I went a little bit longer than I wanted to with the presentation, but hopefully you got something out of it. If you have any questions, give me a call. Shoot me an email. Thank you for stopping in and sitting in on my presentation, and you have a wonderful day. Bye.